If the reality of who really runs the Democratic Party wasn't clear to you yet, let me remind you. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez given only 60 seconds to speak at Democratic convention. John Kasich, a Republican, and Michael Bloomberg, a billionaire, will get more time than the left-wing congresswoman. They'll get more time than the entire squad. John Kasich and Michael Bloomberg. By the way, a poll came out asking Democrats who they would prefer to see. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez got 63% prefer to see her speak. Kasich was well below 50%, I think it was. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez even beat out Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton had like 56%, something like that, maybe 53, 56%. So the voters want her to speak. Party leadership, by the way, it keeps getting worse and worse. First we learned, it's only 60 seconds. Then we learned it had to be pre-recorded also. Presumably, they have to make sure she's not going to step too out of bounds in her speech. Listen, this needs to be a lesson to people on the left. They don't like you. They don't agree with you. They might pat you on the head a couple times and say, welcome to the club. You ain't in the club. And the more you're sycophantic to them, the more you bend the knee to them, the more you say like, Nancy Pelosi's the mama bear or something to that effect, which is what AOC did, the less they respect you. And the more they know they got you. So, I've said this from the beginning and I'll continue to say it. You're not there to make friends. In fact, if anything, you should be there to make enemies, not just in the Republican Party, in the Democratic Party also. Because how does an outsider candidate and politician, where do they derive their power from? The answer is very simple. The people. If you are an outsider politician and you're a populist, the people are on your side. So how do you use your power and leverage your power? You use your people. So in other words, the tools in your toolbox are public pressure, campaigns to shame politicians who are not on the correct side of Medicare for all, or free college, or a living wage, or Green New Deal. That's where you get your power from. But unfortunately, what we see and it's not just her, but it's almost every left-wing politician, is that they immediately neuter themselves when they get into power. They castrate themselves. Like, okay, I will try to outmaneuver politically the likes of Nancy Pelosi or other Democratic leaders. And I'll try to play this insider game better than them. You're never going to beat the master insiders at the insider game. That's all they know. That's all they have. So that dirty kind of Washington politics, the left is never going to win playing those games. The left needs to use the power of the people, needs to use the outsider pressure to shine a light on what's actually going on, to then force politicians to either do our bidding or lose and be replaced by somebody who will do our bidding. That's where we get all of our power from. And unfortunately, I've seen it time and time again. It's virtually every left-wing politician. They get in power, and then they actually distance themselves from using the people, using that pressure, using that power, and are willing to go along to get along to some extent, to one extent or another. We're never going to win on our policies by using that approach. The only way we have any prayer of winning is to use the people. So this is just another reminder here. They would rather pander to and cater to John Kasich, Planned Parenthood cutting deficit hawk John Kasich, or Michael Bloomberg, stop and frisk billionaire, the guy who blocked a minimum wage increase as mayor of New York City. They'd rather put those people front and center than somebody who actually represents some left-wing ideas. Do you get it yet? Do people understand yet? I take a lot of crap because I've told people basically the only way we have any chance of winning power is to use one of the two dominant political parties. Like, I get shit because I say, like, listen, as much as I love people trying to start a third party, the system is just totally biased against a third party. You're making your life harder. You will not get power if you try to go a third party route. You're just not going to get power. So I take shit for that. But what you need to understand is the nuance and the exact strategy of doing a takeover of the party. I've been clear from day one. This is a hostile takeover. I'm not talking about getting in there and then we get watered down and beaten back by the system. And we bend the knee a little and then a little bit more. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we get in there and we let everybody know. I'm not here to make friends. I hate all the Republican leadership. I also hate the Democratic leadership. And they want to snub me by not giving me a committee assignment? Okay, then I'll call that out too. And I'll fire up my people who's, I rode in here on a wave of their support. I'm going to keep them fired up. I'm going to keep them on my side. I'm going to keep them fighting for the right things. I will leverage that pressure. So if they try to screw me because I simply disagree with them, okay, then the world's going to know about it. And guess who's going to come out of that fight on top politically? I am. Yeah, I might be a freshman congressman. Who cares? Who cares? Know your place. No, the way this system works is I represent the people. I don't give a shit about your hierarchy from within the kingdom, within the castle. This ain't a meritocracy. They rose to the top by being the most corrupt. You think I respect that? I don't respect that. So we need to win with a hostile takeover. You take over one of the two major parties because we have a two-party system and it's biased against the third parties. You could try the third party thing. It's not going to work. If anything is going to work, it's taking over one of the two major parties, for sure. Now, that's hard too, but it does have an actual prayer of working. But the way you do it is standing up to them, calling them out, not taking the crumbs that they give you. Here, I'll give you... You want to speak? That's cute. I'll give you 60 seconds and it's pre-recorded. That's how much they value you. You know what they... And I'll tell Andrew Yang too, because they didn't give him any speaking slot. They want your popularity without your ideas. You want me to say that again for you? They want your popularity without your ideas. They're playing you, and they're not even really hiding it that much now, are they? Dance with who brung you. You know who brought all the outsider candidates into Washington, D.C.? The people in grassroots funded campaigns. Let them know that they are your boss. The people are your boss. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Democratic leadership, they can kick rocks. I don't care about what they want me to do, what they want me to say, how they want me to vote. I don't answer to them. I answer to the people. And it would be nice if the left actually really acknowledged the source of their power and leveraged it. Because the few times that did happen early on, the media turned on AOC and backed Pelosi. And then she backed off a little bit because she also wants the media to not hate her. But again, I would argue you have to embrace that in order to get any victories. You have to embrace the smears from the media and wear it as a badge of honor. If Democratic leadership smears you, if the media smears you, great. Great. That means they're threatened by you, which means you're closer to Medicare for all and all the policies that we want than you think you are. But if you start appeasing them, there is no end to that appeasement, and we'll never win on policy. So just my 2 cents. But if I was AOC, I would have told them, hey, take your 60 seconds and shove it up your ass. How about that?